Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. So, since last episode, I have been working on this a bit, and, I've kind of got this spanning across, just kind of building it out. I'm going to say probably by next episode, I'll have this section done, and probably this whole wall done. So that'll be, like, kind of a fourth of it done. A fourth of the wall work that needs to go into this, so, steadily getting there. But then, of course, I still have to build out this whole room section and everything. But, I'm steadily getting there. It's just such a big room. Such a big room. And then I also started working on, this isn't the building. This is just like a base shape of the building. So, and then, of course, I have to ruin it. Anyways, since last episode, I have been running the bees a bit. And I mentioned last episode that I had ran it, over the weekend. And that was all the jungle combs that we had produced. That was actually slightly incorrect, because I forgot that before I left, it was maybe Friday morning or Thursday afternoon or something like that. I was able to get on for a few minutes, and it wasn't for very long, but I did reset chunk loaders, and I forgot to re-chunk load my bees, and so that was like what had been produced leading up to when I reset the chunk loaders. Okay. So that wasn't really like an entire weekend of running. It was just a couple days of running. So anyways, I did get a few more traits, the ones that we were working on last episode. We currently have, on this, we have Never Sleeps True, Humidity Tolerance both 1, Lifespan Short, Effect none, Tolerates Rain True, Fertility 4, Territory Average, Cave Dwelling True, and Temperature Tolerance up 1. I wouldn't mind getting Temperature Tolerance both 2, or even just both 1 would be fine, but it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, the temperature and humidity tolerance doesn't really matter for us, because we can work around that regardless. And the only thing that I've been trying to get that I still have not managed to get is my flowers. I want flowers, is what I would like to have, but I still have not managed to get that. If we pop over to the flower fields, and we give it a second to load in, okay, thought it might crash. Sometimes when you use the Ender book, it crashes. These bees here, we have our Steadfast that we were working on. They actually came out to be Steadfast with Cave Dwelling True, so that was good. And then our common bees that we were running, this was like what originally started as like a forest common, ended up coming out, ended up getting it common with Tolerant Flyer True. So those were from one of those, I guess, from a dungeon chest or one of those apiaries buildings in the villages. So, and then these have been running for a little bit. We actually have quite a bit of mysterious combs, but honestly, these combs are probably just going to be trash. We're not really going to use those. So, anyways, let me grab some of these drones here, and we're going to warp back home. And what we're going to start doing today is a couple different things. We're going to get our setup going for the end bees, and we're also going to start working towards a fastest speed. And I got to looking, and ideally, like, fastest is the best speed, and we can easily get that from light blue bees. If you take a look at these, the light blue drones, if you hold shift there, you can see its fastest worker in its default pristine type state. Okay, now sometimes whenever you actually breed up to that bee, you're going to lose the fastest worker because, it doesn't come through. It gets like mixed stats and you can lose it. But we're going to be doing a system. We're going to be doing a thing where we're going to have a pristine stat bee. So it's fastest worker on the queens and the drones. So, or on the princesses and the drones. And we're going to do that using the Mutatron system. Mutatron, the advanced Mutatron really isn't much more expensive. We'll go ahead and go with the advanced Mutatron, I guess. The mutagen producer. We're going to need a mutagen producer, we're going to need a Mutatron, and then we're going to have to upgrade it. So altogether, we're going to need to get ourselves, let's see, 2, 3, 4 power modules. And actually, let me take a look. The industrial apiary does not require power modules. Okay. And we'll go ahead and get our, I need one more batch of gears. There we go. There's our 4 power modules. And then we are also going to want Let's see, mutagen tanks. We're going to need 2 of those. Mutagen tanks are made like this. So we're going to need some Certus quartz. Let me order some quartz glass here. And then I think we'll be good. I'm going to need just a few more tin plates. Okay, so there's our 2 mutagen tanks. And then we are going to want... technically this we could probably pull off now. We're going to need a sturdy casing and a hopper. There is our mutagen producer. We're going to go ahead and set that up. Let's get ourselves... let's get some flux ducts. You know, we made these last episode. Let's pop over. And we're going to set our mutagen. We're going to have our mutagen set up like right here. Okay, so what we'll do is put it right there. We're going to pump in some RF. We're not going to fully automate this because it's not going to be used all that much in truth. And to make mutagen, what we're going to want to get is we can use redstone or glowstone. We're just going to get ourselves like, let's get a stack of redstone blocks. Let's take our block of redstone, our blocks of redstone. Once again, you can use glowstone. You can use single redstone or blocks, single glowstone or blocks, doesn't matter. But it's going to take that redstone, it's going to break it down, it's going to produce some mutagen. And each block of redstone, you're going to get about 900 millibuckets of mutagen. And we need a bucket per operation in the mutatron. So next up, we need to get the mutatron and the advanced mutatron. We're going to need to get ourselves 3 genetics processors. And so we're going to need some printed engineering circuits, I think it was. And we are also going to have to get ourselves some advanced circuits. Oh, and these actually craft 2 at a time, so I actually only need 2 crafts of that. But I'm going to go ahead and get a 3rd craft because I can. And then we're going to need some bee receptacles. Now these, we're only going to need 3 of them in total. So we'll go ahead and get 3 of those. Then we can get our mutatron, and then we're going to go ahead and just upgrade it into the advanced mutatron. Okay, so now we've got what we need. Let's pop over here, and we are going to set this up right there. And let me... can't remember if I can use the Yeta wrench for this. Yes, okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I don't want that to connect. And hardened flux duct, setting right there. Okay, so, okay, it's automatically outputting. So you can see that whenever this makes mutagen, it automatically gets sent over into the advanced mutatron. Awesome. Okay, so then what we're going to do, now that we've got that, we're going to take a look at those light blue bees. These right here, we have to do a bit of breeding to get these. We need to get white and blue bees. To get white, we need wintry and diligent. Diligent is a combination of common and cultivated. Cultivated is common and forest, common and meadows, common and modest. You know, pretty much common and most anything, which we have common bees right there. So what we're going to do, let me pop over here. I think I've got modest. Technically, I could use the modest bees, so we'll just use those. I've got those available. I may have some in my yellow bag as well, but what we're going to do is we're going to put our modest queen. Oh, that's a queen, not a princess. Okay, I've got a marshy. We'll take a marshy. That'll be fine. So if we take our marshy princess, put it right there, and our common drone, we can see that we can get cultivated. So we're going to go ahead and just select that. And I believe we need labware, right? So let me grab a little bit of labware. We're going to drop that into there. And we're going to see here in just a second. If we select that, there we go. It's going to start running. And here in just a second, pow, there's a cultivated queen. Okay, so what we're going to do, now that we've got her, is we're going to set ourselves up an apiary. And I think most of these should be able to run just fine. Let's actually make an industrial apiary. Can I pull that off? There's our industrial apiary. And let's go ahead, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and get ourselves just an advanced power cell, as per usual, and a power cell card. Now, I'm not for sure if this is going to run here without upgrades. We'll have to see. Too dry. No flowers, no power. Well, that's fine. What we can do, we're going to need them anyways. First up, to solve the flower issue, we're just going to grab a poppy. Cultivated should just use standard poppies. Power, we've got a power cell. And then for the humidity, which is why it's too dry, we are going to get a humidifier upgrade. It's going to do humidity plus 25%, energy consumption plus 5%. We're not too concerned about humidity cost. We're going to need to make ourselves one of these. We're going to need some dense tin plates and stuff. Let's go ahead and automate that. Which we're going to have to teach you how to make range upgrades. And we're just going to make the, the range 0 is fine. So there we go. There's 42 dry rubber. We'll just go ahead and smelt that real quick. I need to get that stuff set up and automated. We'll be doing that soon. So that we automatically have plastic sheets coming in. I promise. So there's a range add-on 0. That'll be fine. You don't need anything in particular for this. You just need a range add-on. So there we go. There's how you make that. And let's order ourselves, let's do 3 of these. And then back to gendustry. I don't know if we'll automate these. I don't know if we really need it. Let's order ourselves 12 of these tin plates. Because honestly, our foray into gendustry is like not that much in truth. We're just kind of getting some good bees together so that we have lots of DNA and lots of mysterious combs coming in for in-game. Is really all we're doing right now. And then if we take a look again at the humidifier upgrade, it's not very expensive. Let's go ahead and grab, let's grab like 2 of these for starters. I don't know if we'll need 1 or 2 for it. I'm not actually sure even how humid it is here. In our industrial apiary, what we're going to do is we're going to put this right into there. Okay, that's plenty. So you can see it's no longer too dry. Then we're going to drop down our flour. And let's see, what flour do you want if you don't want regular ones? Any kind of flour. It's just not detected it yet, I think. No queen. No power. No flowers, no power. Okay, well, I'll sort that in just a second. We're going to put down our power cell. We're going to say output. We're going to put that in there. And now it's got power. We still need flowers, though. It's not seeing that as a usable flower, which is kind of strange. But alright, let's pop down. These are basically better apiaries that we can put. They're basically like the alvearies. We can do humidity and temperature and speed upgrades and all that through those. Which I don't know how much speed upgrades. I don't think we'll really need them, especially if we're going to get a fastest speed. I really don't think we're going to need it at all. By the way, this one has shortest life as well. And a fast worker. Honestly, we could just stop there. I'm probably going to actually breed these together for a bit. So let's try some other flowers. Let's get like peonies. Also, one other thing I wouldn't mind getting is right here an automation upgrade. Now you can do this like I showed you with the cables, the conduits. It's not a problem. But we can use the automation upgrade, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to take the drones and the princesses and just put them back in automatically without needing to reinsert. Okay, and we have plenty of upgrade slots here, so we might as well. We'll do that, and then let's drop down some of these flowers and hope that these work. Not bright enough, not daytime, no flowers. We can fix the not bright enough, not daytime issue by simply running this through here. Now, it's not going to take effect on, which that is, I really want the shortest life, though. That's the only thing, and I have a short lifespan on this. So maybe I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm really not sure why it doesn't have flowers. Let me try just some other random flowers then. I mean, there's different types of flowers, so maybe it's just not seeing what we have out as as viable flowers. And now if it needs vines, it's going to say jungle. If it needs like chorus fruit, it's going to say chorus, things like that. But we're going to go ahead and just put some other things around here. There's some allium. There's a pink tulip. There's a blue orchid. Still does not see the flowers. Okay, I just slept and turned it to day. It has finally detected the flowers. So you can see that it's running. So we're going to give it just a bit, and after a while it's going to run through. It's going to make cultivated princess, cultivated drone. I do want to get off of this. I want to get the shortest life, and I wouldn't mind getting flowers and even fast worker, because chances are we're not going to get fastest worker today, But fast work will be fine, and then I'll steadily work up to fastest worker. I'm not going to do all that on camera because it's not going to be exciting, I promise. Now, while we're waiting for that, let me go deposit these bees. I don't need these in here anymore. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to set up our end bees. And let me get like an industrial apiary. One of these would be great. Or another one of these. And honestly, I think we're only going to have one apiary for end bees, because we're going to have more than enough. And then I'm probably going to do another one for jungle bees here, just because, you know, we need more jungle bees coming in. So what we're going to do, we're going to have our apiary. We're going to need, we're actually going to need this humidifier upgrade, chances are. And let's pop back over to the flower fields. And let me go ahead and grab all of these, because we can make use of them. And let me grab our end bees. Let me actually let this thing run down to its death. Well, actually I'm going to move it over and then I can do that. That'll be fine. And for right this second, while we're waiting for that bee to run down and die, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our industrial apiary, just sitting right here. That's fine. Ender Queen goes in. It's too dry. That's okay. There's the humidifier upgrade. There's some, well, actually we don't want that in there. Let's go get a chorus flower or chorus plant. So one of those. And then we're also going to want to get some end stone. Piece of that. And just until we change over to just generic flowers, and then we can use poppies or dandelions or whatever. I don't know why it took so long for it to detect that flower, you know, a minute ago. I actually have no clue. It just took forever. And then, which really any vanilla flower with that, it should work. I double checked and it should work, but it was just being irritable, I guess. Let's get a bronze gear. We'll go ahead and get another automation upgrade. Just makes your life a little bit easier. Less cabling that we have to do, really. So, there we go. Automation upgrade. Which actually, I'm not going to put that in there just yet. And that is because of the fact that I want this to just die off. Is all I want. So, put that down and chorus plant. And here in a moment, we should see... I don't know, it might take a little while. Because it likes to take a little while. This one's at 70%. Remember, this is shortest life, so it's going to actually burn through the lifespan on this bee at a decent rate. It's going to go through about a cycle every day. Even faster once I have, you know, no sleep on it. But you can see with both of these upgrades, we're still only running at 23.1 RF per tick. It's not very high. Okay, this one is at 90%, so we're about to see what happens whenever it rolls over. Alright, so with the automation upgrade, you'll be able to see what it does. So it should be just about to go off. There we go. And you can see it automatically just drops it right back in there. The princess goes right back in the spot, and pow. There we go, it's running again. Okay, so now that we've got a cultivated set of bees, this still is not kicking on. Why are you acting up? What we're going to do now that we've got a cultivated is we can work on getting our diligent would be the next one. So cultivated and common together to get that. So we're going to pop back over, well, I'll tell you what, I think I've actually got a common species trait. Yes, I do. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to take a genetic template. We're going to do that. There's a genetic template for common bees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that genetic template with common bees on it. We're just going to switch this out real quick, and we're going to make a princess that's common. It's that easy. Then we can just pull this out and switch it. You can pull it out while it's running. It's already saved what it's doing, basically. And then here in a second, we should have a common princess in here. And then we can combine that with our cultivated and get our diligent. Very, very simple. Very, very simple process. And go. Takes a second for these item ducks. There we go. Common princess. And then what we can do is we can just drop this and this in there. Common and cultivated, we can get noble or diligent. Let's take diligent. Not really worried about noble because we're not going for alvearies and all that stuff. So there we go. There is our diligent queen. And we can actually take a look at her stats. Let's see what she's got. She's got short lifespan, slower production, slow pollination. I mean, she's not great. Not really what we're looking for anyways. Let's see, did this ever detect the flowers? No, it's weird. It's like it just bugs out or something. It takes a second. I don't really know. the cause of it. Well, I'm going to pull that out. We can hold on to the ender bee for right now. There we go. Okay, she's running. We'll go ahead and get the diligent ran through. Get it down to a diligent princess and a diligent drone. And the next step, once we get our diligent bees, the next step is, because remember we're going for white and blue. White is wintry plus diligent, gets us a white. We should have plenty of drones left over, and we already have a wintry princess. And then the blue is forest and diligent, and we get blue. And then blue and white together, we get light blue. Very, very easy. Very, very easy stuff. And then basically we just need to breed those together a bunch until we get the, the fastest trait unlocked, like we talked about last episode. I don't know if we'll get it this episode or not for sure. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to drop this into here, and we're going to hope that... Why is it not detecting those flowers? Okay, I'm going to leave that in there just running for a little bit. There we go. See, it detects no flowers for a minute. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I do have flowers. There we go. I don't know. Maybe I need to put like a lot of chorus fruit around it, but hopefully we can get flowers on our ender bee here in just a minute. We'll take our cultivated drone. We're going to drop it into there. And I'm actually hoping for flowers. I mean, I want the shortest lifespan. That's great. Some of those stats, but that's effect none. It's not really what I'm after. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop back over to the flower fields. I'm going to put this Ender Queen back in there and just say, you don't extract. Because it's just taking too long for us. Okay, and then what we're going to do, let's go ahead and set up some of this other stuff that we need to set up. Let's pop down here to where we're going to set up our bees. And, I was debating, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up our bees right over here. And I actually forgot to grab most everything that I need for this. So let me pop back up here. Let's grab the centrifugal separator. Let's also grab, from inside of here, we are going to want the DNA extractor. Okay, those are the two things that we're going to want for this setup. Okay, so what we're going to do is right down here. I'm actually going to have the bees set up right over here, I think. And we are going to have the... Oh, let's see, how do I want to do this? We're going to pull up that. We're going to pull up that. We're going to set down the centrifugal separator right there. We're going to set down the DNA extractor right here. And basically the stuff's going to feed over into these. And I'm pretty sure that the DNA extractor cannot accept mysterious combs. It cannot. And the centrifugal separator cannot accept drones. Okay, so I really don't even have to worry about whitelisting this, in truth, because they can't accept, but they can't run. So we're going to put down a... let's see, we're going to put our power cell setting... We're going to put it setting right here. Output, link it. There we go. Everything should have power now. There we go. And we are going to want labware, and I'm going to actually have to automate that for the DNA production. Now that I think about it. We've already got the recipe automated. I'm just going to have to send it over here. Let's get ourselves... Let's get a stack of labware. It's actually really, really cheap. Our current stuff is going to basically upkeep it. As far as diamonds and glass, it's not very expensive at all. So, it's actually going to stop running pretty quickly. So, genetics labware goes in there, and then if we were to take, say, these ender drones, and they get sent here from the apiaries, basically as overflow. Any extra drones that we don't need in our apiaries get sent here. They go into there, and they're going to start running. Okay, and they're going to run down. And here in a moment, they are going to produce POW liquid DNA. Okay, we get 100 millibuckets per drone. You get a little bit more for princesses, but we're not going to have princesses running through this in our automatic setup. I'll go ahead and dump that in there as well. The centrifugal separator, just like we looked at last episode, we drop in the mysterious combs, and we're going to get pulsating propolis. Now this has to be processed into pulsating mesh, which then is how we use that. But we're just going to basically stockpile the pulsating propolis. So it goes into here, and it creates that, and then it's going to go into our system. And we're going to have a void upgrade. Now this system is also going to produce probably some silky combs or something. I'm not for sure how I want to do that. It's going to be a temporary thing. Let me think about it for just a moment here. Yeah, this is all backed up on mutagen. And that's probably, we're probably never going to have to add any more redstone blocks because we don't really need a whole lot of bee stuff. Okay, so let's get ourselves a couple things here. We're going to want an ender tank. We're going to want, say, 2 of these. And then we are also going to want 2 ender chests. Let me order 1 more of these. And then we are going to want 4 diamonds. Let's get 4 of those. And actually I only need 1 ender chest because we're going to pump all the stuff into the blue line is our primary input, right? Well, we can pump it into the white. We'll do white. And then the ender tank, I'm going to use, say, pink dye. Let's go ahead and dump that. So we'll go 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do pink for our DNA. That's going to be our DNA line. So what we'll do is this silty dirt. If I put this, let me actually do that. Diamond locket. And we did pink. Okay, if we set this right here, okay, it automatically gets the liquid DNA. So there we go. Simple. So ender tank on top, pow, it's done. And then we can just feed the items in through the, the bottom side there, and we're good. And then on this side, we're going to need to set up the ender chest, which is going to set right there. And all we need to do is diamond lock that, and that's set up. And then we can just say, well, the honey drops and the pulsating propolis. It's kind of important that we make sure and slot these things somewhere with void upgrades. So let's pop over here to the drawers. We're going to be getting a lot of this stuff, like a whole lot of this stuff. Way more than we're going to have need for. So I'm just going to go ahead and slot that. Honestly, I don't even know if we'll run more than 1 apiary. I mean, the jungle ones, that's cool and all. I may just leave them as is and we'll just turn it in whenever. Because really all we need is 1 apiary. 1 apiary running this stuff and we're good. So, and let me get like a storage upgrade as well. Okay, there we go. So we can store 416 stacks of all this stuff. That should be good. And then void anything after that, and I think we'll be fine. Okay, so let's see, how are these doing? Not bright enough, not daytime. How you figure? Oh, I think it's getting over an eclipse. Yeah, it's an eclipse right now, so. Which also means Heraldium is, like, I think that's when Heraldium comes out, if I recall, but we'll get into Heraldium later. It's very, very simple to get it. I know in the, like, the tips it always pops up and it's like, watch out for Heraldium, it's really rare, but you're better off just using blood magic to get that stuff. Okay, so the centrifugal separator, go ahead and just run that stuff through. Configuration, we're going to say the top is going to be output, and you can auto-eject is on, so there we go. It gets dropped into there, and pow. It's sending the stuff through. That's great. That's what we want to see. So then we just have to run all these mysterious combs, and then plug it up for automation. Very, very simple. Okay, now for the automation side of things, let's go ahead and set up our apiary. I'm just going to make an extra one. And we also need to automatically send in labware. That's also going to be kind of important. Let's get ourselves an export bus. Let's get a crafting card. Let's get some cables. We should have a cable line that runs down pretty close to that. Because this orange line here, if you recall, it does connect down into the storage line that's connected up to our food network. And we have 29 of 32 channels. So we do have space to just plug in a quick channel there. So that's what I'm going to do for that. Let's get ourselves our apiary. And I'm going to grab a humidifier upgrade as well. I wonder, does it not consume the labware? Maybe we don't even have to automate that part of stuff. I don't remember if it consumes the labware or not, to be perfectly honest. But what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this up, and pull this up as well. We're going to run some item ducts there. Right here, we're going to say the bottom is going to be input. Item duct right there. Let's go ahead and we don't want that to connect. Item duct right there. And then our industrial apiary is going to sit right here. Okay. It's got power. We're going to drop a humidifier upgrade and an automation upgrade in there. And then right over here, we're going to put on the servo. Right there. Extract is always active. And there we go. It's as simple as that. It really is. And so then you can input there and there. It already automatically whitelists. So that's only going to get the combs. That's only going to get the drones. And that's pretty much all there is to it. This is pretty much automated now. So we just kind of have our bees set up here. And they're going to be able to run because they're going to have cave dwelling. So they can work under the floor there. And let me put this right there. That. Oh yeah, I need to put some behind these. There will be our bees. Now the labware, I'm not for sure. We can either run an export bus up, but so far it hasn't actually consumed any labware. So I'm not for sure if it's going to or not. One other thing that we do need to do is set up a trash can though, before I forget, because any overflow, we need to have a trash can to basically pick up the overflow. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a dense item duct. Okay, I got another cultivated drone. Let's cross our fingers and hope we get something that we want, like shortest lifespan. It would be great. No, we got temperature tolerance, none. Awesome. Anyways, I've got a dense item duct. Let's also grab ourselves a trash can. This is going to be basically overflow. And this will basically come into play whenever the drones get overflowed, you know, something like that. Like, we don't need the DNA, but we don't want everything to just shut down. So this way it can just trash those. So all we'll do is we'll put down dense item duct right there. And what dense does is it's going to make it lowest priority or lower priority. So it's going to go after, you know, these are filled up. It can't go there, so it goes to the trash can instead. And then just trash can. There we go. Easy as that. And then we just replace that, and that's done. Alright, and we do have some more mysterious combs. Let's dump those into there. There we go. And then this ender tank, I'm not sure where I'm going to set it up. It's going to be in like a liquid area, which I don't have a dedicated liquid area just yet. We don't need the liquid DNA right this second, so we're just going to put this right over here for now. There we go. We've got 400 liquid DNA. Let's pop over to the flower fields. I think I just crashed. It's been crashing a lot whenever I use the Ender book. Okay, so our Ender Princess is done. Let's go ahead and grab her. And I'm also going to grab these steadfast drones, these common drones, that common drone. And then we're going to warp back home. Okay, now this Ender bee I need to hold on to. This is going to be our bee that actually goes into the automation system. Which actually I could go ahead and get that running at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these and these because I actually don't need them, and that tropical drones. And what we're going to do, let's pop down to here. I want to see if this actually consumes a labware or not. Because I'm not totally for sure, honestly. It's honestly been a while since I've used DNA extractors, you know. So I couldn't tell you. I couldn't honestly tell you if it's going to consume it or not. So anyways, while that's running, let's go ahead. We're going to pop up. Now, I do still want the flowers trait. Really, I should run this steadfast through the genetic sampler and try to get flowers, because that's what this uses, is flowers. Like right now, the traits that I'm really after is, I'd like to get the fastest speed, which is just going to take a while, you know. Basically, I just have to work up that mutagen stuff. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Then I want the fastest production speed, the shortest lifespan, both off of this bee. Or, I'm sorry, shortest lifespan off of this bee. Fastest off of the light blue dye drone. Which, I'm going to get fast off of the cultivated, hopefully, and I can use that for a while. It's not really any rush to get fastest, because it's already going to be more than I need, you know. And then I want to get that flowers trait, which can come from most of these bees I just have not... Guess what? We just got it. So, let me pull these out. I don't need to run these anymore. There we go. You complain about it enough, and you will get it. That is a life lesson right there. Okay, so we've got 10 out of 13 chromosomes. So we'll go ahead and take that. We will put that into here. And then for now, we're going to go ahead and run our ender bees. Simply because you know, until I get the faster, like the fast speeds or the shortest lifespans, and that's really it. The fast and fastest speed and the shortest lifespan. There's nothing else that I want to add to the bee. And I want him to run, or it to run, all the time. And that's going to allow it to run. Honestly, even this bee alone, it's going to be more than enough of everything for us, truth be told. But we'll go ahead and add the rest of that on there just because we can. But this will probably be the last episode that I cover bees. And then I can, you know, we will get the jungle stuff that we need to make. I'm probably going to add, once I get a fast production speed and a shortest lifespan, I'm going to add that to my jungle bees just so that I have a little bit faster production. But we don't really have to worry too much about those because, you know, they're good. They're good as is. I just need enough to make the apiary outfit for that quest, which we're not even going to use because we don't really have negative effect bees. You know, that's a thing of the past for us. So we'll go ahead and drop those in there. I am going to have to put a flower down. That's fine. Yeah, see, it's still not using any labware, so we may not even need to export labware because it doesn't seem to be consuming it. There might be a very, very low probability chance that it can consume labware, but so far it's ran through closing in on like a stack of bees, I'd say. No. Closing in on half a stack of bees, and it has yet to use any labware. So it's not very common. Let me grab just a couple flowers here. These are going to produce flowers on their own as well because they pollinate, they spread, and so they're going to basically fill this area up with flowers. It's just going to become like a big flower field in here. So right now it says no flowers. It's going to take a while. For some reason it takes forever for it to register. It's the weirdest thing. That's still not consumed any labware. Well, I'm just going to watch it, and then if I need to add an export bus with a crafting card, you know, our system already knows how to make labware. So I can easily add that. It's no biggie. You know, it's whatever. Now, there's also, if we take a look here at gendustry, something to bear in mind. If you want faster production, I'm not too worried about it. But if you want faster production, there is a speed upgrade right here. Production upgrade. Energy consumption plus 20%, production plus 20%. It makes it faster, and you can put up to 8 of those in there. They do require a royal jelly, which takes imperial bees, which take noble and majestic. Majestic is noble and cultivated, and we already saw noble. You know, like we could have made that in the mutatron earlier. So if you want to make those, you can. I'm not even going to bother with it because there's not a whole lot of point in this pack to bother with it in truth. So it's just kind of whatever you want to do. Okay, I finally got these to work. It seems like if you don't have the flowers placed before you put down the apiary, you have to break and replace the apiary or something. I don't know. It finally registered after I broke and replaced it, which it retains its inventory, so you don't have to worry about that. You can see I've dropped a lot of plants around here. I did finally get a fast speed. I'm still waiting on shortest lifespan, but we did get a fast speed, so I'm going to apply that to there. Of course, that came from the cultivated drone. And then once I get the shortest lifespan, we can stop running the cultivated drones. So just a heads up. And then we're really, after we get shortest lifespan off the cultivated, we're really just waiting on getting that fastest production speed. And then we're pretty much golden, which these have just finished running. And so what we can do now is we can take these. And if you recall, we need to combine these with, if you look at the mutatron, we need to get a white, which is diligent and wintry, and then we need to get a blue, which is diligent and forest. So wintry, that's easy enough. We have a drone or a princess right there. Drop that into there, drop that into there, and we're going to select white. There we go. It's going to start running. Now forest, we have to pop over, just pop over here real quick. And I forgot to bring a scoop with me. Okay, I remember seeing a forest hive somewhere back in here just a minute ago. Right. Okay. Because I came by here a minute ago and I remember seeing it. Okay, there's our white queen. And then diligent. We'll do forest princess. That's ignoble though. We'll do the diligent and the forest. And we're going to get a blue. And there we go. Blue queen, white queen. Perfect. And then we just have to run these down, then we can get our light blue, which will have the fastest speed, and then we can just try to get that stat off, and we're golden after that. So, yeah. I'm only going to run one of those at a time because I'm waiting on getting that shortest lifespan off that cultivated before I can remove it from the apiary. But I just have to run those down and then breed one more time with the mutatron and then breed until we get the fastest stat. Like, our days of bee work are almost over because that's really all we need. And honestly, this is overkill. This is like extreme overkill. But we're going to do it anyways just because we can. Let's see, what do we get? Effect none. Okay, that's not what I want. But anyways, our bees are running. We're making stuff and everything is wonderful. And we're pretty much done with bees on camera work. I mean, I'm going to do the rest of that. It'll probably be done by next episode. And then, you know, we'll take a look and we'll have our great bees. And yay, lots of celebration. And then here soon we'll get the rest of our Silky Wisp, make our apiary stuff, and finish that quest. And then after that, forestry quests will be done. I mean, that's all that's left. But we do have a little bit more forestry. We're going to be doing a little bit more forestry next episode, which we'll get into that. It's mainly going to be automating, which it was brought up by Jomega that the modularium, this stuff right here, is replicatable. So we can replicate that, so we can easily get this. We don't really even have to automate it. You know, originally I was thinking, well, we're going to have to automate that. No, we don't have to. We just have to craft it like one time and we're good. Like this right here. Actually, we can go ahead and craft it. There you go. There's pulsating crystal. There's some modularium. We'll grab a piece of that and we'll go scan it and then I can replicate it. Next episode, we're going to be getting into modular machines, so we might as well do this real quick. There we go. Let's start scanning, and we'll see how much it costs. Okay, that's finished. So, it's 23.19 millibuckets of UU matter per modularium. So, definitely worth just replicating. It's a whole lot cheaper, a whole lot faster, and we can make a bunch of that stuff, you know. That's still running. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and dump that in there. Takes a little while to make that litherite, so I've kind of got this running. Plus, I'm backed up on UU matter, like constant, so might as well. But I'm going to set up some more replicators between episodes, and we'll start stocking. You know, like right now we've got, I don't know, a lot of things, mainly machine frames and stuff like that, kept stocked here, and so I'm going to add modularium and then probably dragon hearts because we've got lots of buckets of this stuff, like a whole lot of buckets of this stuff. You know, we scanned dragon hearts forever ago, so I'll add those into there, and yeah, we'll get that going. So anyways, I am going to end out this episode here. I feel like we got quite a bit done, and we're pretty much done with bees. You know, I've got a little bit of stuff just between episodes to do off camera, just working up, basically running out the blue queen and then breeding them together, and there you go, and then just get the fastest trade off of there. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. I hope to see you guys next time. We'll start getting into some modular machines as we can basically automate forestry stuff with it. And so I hope you guys join me for that. And I do apologize. I know yesterday's episode, hopefully this episode will be out on time, but it's taking me, this horrible internet, Zito Media, awful internet. It's taking forever to upload videos. Like forever to upload. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys then.